BELEAF Mel.
And we're here with episode 174 of How Married Are You?
Okay, my name is BELEAF. This is Eva, and we've been married 12
years.
Live in California. We got
4 kids.
Relationships scary. It's very necessary. We share our love of struggles. We ask how married are you? Every Tuesday and Thursday, shawty. If you're listening, you're in the wedding party. It's okay if you want to put your hands up. You got the questions. We got the answers.
It's chocolate baby story time.
Chocolate baby story time.
It's chocolate baby story time.
1, 2, 3, and...
It's chocolate baby story time.
This morning, our son...
Which one?
Middle child.
Okay.
Old middle child. Old middle. That's what I'm going to call him. Man, my dude was in the mirror feeling himself.
Yes.
Homie, the front of his hair, he was brushing it to the side. He has this thing about having his hair kind of go off to the side.
He does.
And I was like, man, that joint little whack. But
you're so messed up.
But
dude.
But no. But he loves the way it looks. He feels so handsome and confident and all the things while he's in his world. And so I'm like, cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Do you, right? Mm-hmm. So he's in the mirror, and I'm like, bro, the back of your head is full of lint. Like, you gotta comb out, you gotta get the back of your head. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna go in your bathroom and use some oil. So he's going into our bathroom to get oil. And then Yvette's like, how often do you come in my bathroom to do this? And he was like, every single day. And I'm like, my man, you come in here to get oil and hydration spray for your hair every day, and you forget to put deodorant on? That's a wild world we live in. It's a wild world, but it is what it is.
I don't think he does it every day.
All right. What you got?
Why'd you look under my arms? Because my deodorant is showing?
No, go.
Okay, so my chocolate baby story time is the other day we FaceTimed my mom, and she was at work. And Anaya goes, where's Grandpa? And she goes, at work. And then she was so stunned. She was caught off guard because she was like, why isn't he there with you? Because you're at work. He should be there with you. Oh. So she has this thing in her head where it's like, mom and dads go to work at the same place. Yeah. That is so funny to me.
Wild.
It's like the reality that we're creating for these children, or that they exist in, is just, they don't even know. It's not everyone's reality.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting thing. But I thought it was funny. Me and my mom looked at each other like, I guess that makes sense in her understanding, you know?
I think we should just start asking our kids what they believe about certain things.
Yeah.
What is there?
It should be a series.
Yeah, like what do you think about this? What did we prove to you? Because that's yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into these emails. I think we got off a little bit because I think this is a Thursday episode, correct? This is the one we...
Yes.
Yeah. So we got off a little bit because usually Tuesday episodes are very like email focused and the Thursday episodes are very us focused. Mm-hmm. So this is a email focused question answer type of episode. Some people like the us focused episodes a little bit more. So we just did that on 173.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I'm not going to say your name, girl. I don't think you want people to know. She said, I am 24 years old and I'll be 25 in October. I absolutely love your family, the YouTube videos, and the podcast. I've been watching you for years, and I appreciate that you guys post your relationship online for us to learn from.
We are a specimen.
It feels like when I read it that way, I don't know why it hit me differently than it usually does. But yes, Thank you so much for all that. I am currently in a long-distance relationship with my boyfriend of almost 4 years now. We are having a hard time getting to the next step in our relationship. I've always thought I'd be married by now, so the fact that I've always thought that I'd be married by now, so the fact that I'm not is really bothering me. We are both inexperienced, and when it comes to relationships, he's my second real boyfriend, and we met when I was 18. Even though he's 8 years older than me. Oh.
What?
Yeah, because I was thinking, I don't know, for some reason I thought she's 24 and he's 25, but she's saying she's going to be turning 25, so he must be 33, 32, 33. He has no relationship experience that we could go off of. We want to move in together, but have no idea how to start that process. My question is, could you guys give us some advice on some tangible steps to take moving forward? Any commentary on our situation would be so greatly appreciated. Thank you. So first of all, what you should do is you should go buy the PreMarital Advantage.
Very good. Very good.
The PreMarital Advantage is an e-course that we put together. It is not necessarily that we are your premarital counselors. We are your premarital mentors. What we do in that course is we outline some very important conversations that the two of you need to have. If you've been in a relationship for 4 years, this course is most definitely for you. Go check it out on our podcast at howmarriedareyoupodcast.com, where there we will answer you will be able to purchase the e-course and answer questions amongst each other or start those conversations that you guys should be having or should have already had to know if you should be moving toward marriage.
Yeah. The PreMarital Advantage is for pre-marriage. So if you ain't married yet, you need to be on this.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you're in a relationship or if you're single.
And even if you're newly married, you could use it too.
Amen.
Real talk, because I know y'all
Amen.
shallow. Some of y'all be shallow in those relationships starting out.
Shallowing those relationships.
Shallow in those relationships.
Oh, shallow.
Right? You may not be able to go deep.
I was like, what's shallowing?
Right. And so what I would hope is that before you start a whole spiral of decisions that may not be the best for you or your future, maybe you should take some time out and invest in your relationship. You can do it. One way is the PreMarital Advantage. Another way is How Married Are You Live?
Yes, but they are all the way in.
Who cares? Buy a ticket. You finna move anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was another email. I just read another email if somebody was overseas.
Okay. Yeah, anyway. How Married Are You Live, July 28th to 29th. It's going to be fantastic. You do not want to miss it. Yeah, go ahead and run the commercial. Oh, we got a commercial we can play?
Run the commercial, Jed. Y'all, do you want to hang out with us and the rest of the wedding party in person? Well, let me tell you something. Now is your chance. On July 28th through the 29th, we are throwing a party. We're calling it the How Married Are You Live.
This is our introduction to retreats. We are super excited to add so much value. We've been giving free value for a long time and sharing the ups and downs and the hard parts and the best parts of marriage. This upcoming July 28th and 29th is your opportunity to get the nitty gritty on how we really got through a lot of that stuff. And so we want to invite you guys. It's going to be super fun. And we're back. Okay. So like I was saying, you just got a text from the childcare. I know. What happened?
She's asking if they can watch.
Oh, okay, yeah. Anyway, what I have to say about this topic, okay? Everybody knows BELEAF don't condone shacking up. That's just one thing I don't do. But if you're gonna do it, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's for me to give you advice here, right? Like, how can I advise you on doing something that I think isn't smart, right? It just doesn't seem like it's a good idea. Not because it's not gonna work. It just is so hard to commit to someone when you're not fully committed and you don't have a lot of relationship experience. So it's like we are here trying to give you advice about something that we don't know if you're totally on board with. Now, how long they been together?
4 years.
4 years?
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty long time. Now, 4 years is a solid amount of time. The 8-year difference and the lack of the 8-year age gap and the lack of, shall I say, you said experience in relationships does kind of give off a little, it's like very amateur. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's wise to make that decision outside of a covenant, personally, you know. But if you're going to do it, I think you probably need to talk about certain things, okay? One, Pat says it all the time. Frustration is because you have unmet expectations. There's some things that you are expecting from this man, some things he is maybe expecting from you that, or yeah, I don't know if you're a man or woman, so they or whatever the situation is.
It's a man and a woman.
Okay.
What do you mean? She said me and my boyfriend.
But how do you know it's she?
Because of the name.
Oh, okay. See it. Conjecture. But yeah, I think that whatever the situation is, I don't know whether or not you have to know what roles are going to be played in this place. Here's a very simple way this can go out of whack, right? Your significant other's primary love language may be quality time, okay? But you may like alone time. So if you like hanging out with your friends and being alone, and your significant other's always trying to build with you, and you guys don't have any friends together, it makes a kind of awkward situation when they're spending their time on the phone with their friends or playing video games or whatever the situation is, and you want to hang out one-on-one time, look at each other's eyes and gaze, right? There's just different things that you need to pay attention to, and conversations you need to have before you step into this, right? Now, the reason why I don't think that being in a relationship without living together without being married is because you start to exchange a space and your home is your safe haven. That's where you come to unwind, right? And so say if you guys are in a tiff and you guys don't have I feel like I'm talking a lot.
You are, but it's okay.
Okay. All right. If you guys are in a tiff or a disagreement or whatever situation is, and there's nothing to bring you guys back together, it's just a roommate at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? What is the agreement that you guys have together? What are you guys protecting each other from? What are you fighting for? What's the why in the relationship? If you guys are intended to get married, I totally get it. But if you're doing this out of convenience, just call it what it is. You know what I'm saying? This is convenient and I want to do this. How do I move forward the best way? I would think of it like a roommate, personally, right? They got certain chores. You guys got certain things. Hey, I like to spend these days with you. I want to spend these days alone. I want to go on trips with these people. You know what I'm saying? Especially if one of you guys are relocating. And then you guys are going to somebody's going to have to find a whole new set of friends, a whole new set of activities and whatever. It's just, it's a lot. It's a lot of risk. You're essentially giving up your identity. If you see yourself as the person where you're from, you define yourself or where you're from, you're giving up part of your identity to be enclosed into someone else's freaking terranium.
Terranium? I get it. Okay.
I'm literally just holding on because I'm watching you scroll and do whatever you're doing.
I'm not
I'm
scrolling.
I'm waiting for you to kind
of
jump in.
I already said what I.
It's like double dutch. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in.
All right.
Okay, so no,
Can you jump rope? Can you double dutch?
I used to be able to. I don't know if I can anymore. I can't do all the twisting and turning, but I definitely can.
You can get in there.
My feet up.
Can you get in there?
Why are you? Do we need to prove this?
I want to see if you can get in there.
Maybe we should have double dutch at the How Married Are You Live. Did we already advertise that?
Yeah. No, yeah. Go ahead. Do it again. Go ahead.
We'll do it again.
Talk your talk.
Talk my talk. I think you guys should get engaged, get married, and then move in. But only get married and engaged if you've done the premarital course or some sort of premarital counseling in order to figure out whether or not you should be married or not.
Do you think we're old-fashioned? We are super old-fashioned. I'll be sitting like we're dinosaurs when I'm listening to us talk. Like, man, these cats really talking about.
You know, there's something to be said about that. Because, there's like this give and take from like old and new and current. And I think that where we are, where the present, where we exist, needs to pay homage.
Pay homage.
Play homage.
Coming
to the past and the future and the present. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, a lot of things, like even as a parent, as an adult, as a person who pays bills, I remember when we used to live in the house with my dad and he'd be like, turn the lights off. Why are these lights on? Da, 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 da. And I'd be walking around, even over here in the office, the kitchen, the dining light, no one's in there 100% of the time. So my thought is, when we come in and out of there, let's just turn the light off. because that's a light bill that somebody's going to have to pay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I feel like there are things that we will start to appreciate like outside of it. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say? Like when my dad would say turn off the lights, I just think he's fussing. Like why are you always fussing? Just stop fussing. Right? But that was at a period of time when I didn't have to pay nobody's SDG&E bill.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But now that I'm an adult and I'm paying SDG&E bills, I'm like, we don't need all these lights. Let's turn these lights off.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that as experienced people, as grown folk in relationship for 13 years, we are at a point where it's like, there is a good way to do this. There is really like a way to do this to set yourself up nicely. And if you don't do it that way, you're going to experience some hardships that you don't have to experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Even when I think about my siblings or a lot of young people, I'm just like, can I just manage your life? Can I be your manager? Can I be your life manager and help you not fall? But at the same time, some people just got to learn.
I don't think you have time to be anybody's life manager.
I don't, because I got to manage my own.
Yeah.
But what I am saying is while I can't be in the day-to-day decisions and in all the things, when I do give you something, just trust me.
Yeah.
You know, it's just trust me.
Yeah. I think that the hard part about it is that, like, you have already made a decision that you want to move in with your boyfriend.
She has.
Right? And so that is like fundamentally, I don't understand what that is about unless it's like, I love him, the convenience. Like, I get those things.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't make decisions just because it's convenient.
Amen.
So, you know what I'm saying? So the logic doesn't compute to me.
Ooh, can I share this? Are you done with your thought? I'm sorry. So, I think I've shared with you guys that I'm doing Burn Boot Camp. I love Burn Boot Camp. If you are a man or a female, there's this one particular trainer that she always says, what does she always say? She always said, it's supposed to be hard. And I'd be like lifting weights and trying to do the exercises. And I'm like, girl, if you don't shut up. But spending more training sessions with this woman, I realized what she's saying. The other day, she said something to the effect of, if it's comfortable, you're building endurance. If it's uncomfortable, basically, if you're like upping the weights, because she's like, she'll be like, Yvette, you need 40 pounds. I'm carrying a 15 pounds. She telling me I need 40. I'm like, girl, you don't know what you're talking about. But she's like, if you are sticking with the weight that you can carry, that you're comfortable carrying, then you are going to build endurance. But if you find a weight that's heavier, you're building strength. And she's like basically encouraging us to find failure, because it's in the failure that we learn our lessons. And I feel like so many of us older folk, we found failure. And so there are some lessons that you don't have to learn. Regardless, you're going to find failure. But there are certain aspects of being in relationship and being married that you don't have to experience that failure, because other people have experienced it for you. And they're trying to say, hey, stop real quick. Just hold up a minute. I saw this beautiful scene. It was like a video on Instagram. And it was like, you know how like you come out of a doorway and there's like a hallway right here? So you kind of have to step down steps to be able to see what's coming around this corner and what's coming around this corner, right? And so on the right, there's this guy, he was coming out and he couldn't come forward. And it was like Jesus, quote unquote, Jesus on the one side, and he could see Jesus, and Jesus was like, hold on, you know, like just stop, like wait, don't move, da, da, da. But on the other side was, quote unquote, Satan with a wooden thingy ready to hit him down when he came down the stairs. But he couldn't see that because he was blinded by the wall that was right there. You know what I'm saying? And so Jesus was like, wait. And eventually Satan got tired and walked away and was like, okay, Jesus, you got him this time. But then Jesus moved to the other side where Satan was and was like, come on, let's go. You know what I mean? So there's, I don't know, there's just an element of care and wisdom from us. I don't necessarily think that we are old-fashioned. I think we are experienced.
Yeah. So I would say that, like, I feel like sometimes we're raining down on people's parades, right? And I'm not trying to do that. But the hard part about what is happening here is I feel like there are some people who are extraordinary. I'll say it like that. They are special, and they are among the people that exist differently. So here's an example. Like, I know people who don't go to therapy, but they have self accountability sessions where they literally talk to themselves and change seats, or like scream at themselves in the mirror, and they coach themselves through situations. I can't do it. Not me, but I know that it does work for some people. Now, not everybody needs therapy. If you can be authentically real with yourself and really be vulnerable with yourself, but some people can't even look themselves in the eyes in the mirror. Like, that's just a fact. Most people are not as special as they think they are, right? So you're not going to be able to be ignorant and stupid as a choice and not have those things come back to bite you in the butt. Right? So if you don't have good boundaries with relationships, it's going to catch up with you. You know what I'm saying? You're not special or anything like that. You know what I mean? Or like, if you're like, hey, I want to move in with this person because this is convenient. Well, that's all it is convenience. And when something else comes along that's more convenient, that's going to be convenient too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are special. You may be special in some ways, but you are not exempt from things that can happen. Like, Yvette and I talk about this all the time. Like, I don't have any intentions on cheating on my wife. I believe she doesn't have any intentions on cheating on me. But we know, just because we are human, that could happen, because humans have, the greatest of us it's happened to. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, because we have these flaws, in order to not make that happen, we have safeguards and accountability and boundaries and all types of things to prevent those things, to prevent the likelihood of those things from happening. Right? Is that true, babe?
Yeah.
Are you still with me, or? Now, the likelihood that this goes smoothly, it doesn't seem like if you guys don't have an intention to get married, because I didn't see that anywhere in the email, I don't necessarily know.
She said, I've always thought I'd be married by now.
Okay. That is just a thought.
Oh.
She said, I've always thought. Right? That's it. That's just a thought. She didn't say that they are in agreement or they want to be married, or, you know what I'm saying? This is a group discussion. She just said, I always thought I'd be married by now. But what it seems like to me is that she's decided, I always thought I'd be married by now, but this is the next best thing I could get to, right? So I'm going to be in a relationship with this person in one home because he's not going to marry me, or we haven't talked about it, or whatever the situation is. You know what I'm saying? So if we know that's what you're settling for, cool, let's call it, hey, I'm settling right now because I want to get married, and I'm not with someone who wants to marry me. We're long distance. That's inconvenient. I want to be closer to him. So either he's going to move to me or I'm going to move to him. And we're both inexperienced. That doesn't sound like a lot of promise there. So I'm asking, what are you making the decision based on? What are you in agreement with? What is hey, I'm here for your benefit, for your growth. Like, what is the thing you guys are holding on to? You know what I'm saying? If you don't know that, then I don't necessarily know how we can add value to this conversation. You know, I just think you're making a choice out of convenience. I don't make decisions that way, right? Because I like, with every decision, not all the time, of course, sometimes I make really stupid decisions, but like, when you're making these type of life altering decisions, you got to think about, okay, what's the end goal? Is the end goal to get married? Because if the end goal is to get married, I don't think that's it. But if the end goal is not to be alone for a season, that's it. Right? So if you say, hey, I don't want to be alone right now, cool, move in. But just call it what it is.
That's good, babe. You're always talking about the end goal. I like it. I think that's very important.
Yeah.
And a lot of us don't have our minds on that often. You know?
Yeah.
I actually, like, I know we were going to do a question, like, email. What is it called?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
We were about to open a bunch of emails and respond to them. But
okay.
how married are you, my love?
Thank you. I'm so married that for your birthday, well, I'm always getting some type of like.
No, that was a good.
Okay, so for your birthday, man, I get so nervous, man. Yvette, she celebrates everybody so well, and she does all these things. And I'm gonna just be honest with you, it's just not a strength of mine. I just am not good at it. But this birthday, I was like, okay, usually in the mornings when she wakes up and the kids wake up, like she's got like a whole thing decorated or whatever for the kids. So we got back from our event probably like 1. Oh, we got back from like CJ's house like 1:30 or something crazy like that. It was late. And so I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning, went to a Walmart that was like 20 minutes away, waited till they opened, and I got her the number 3 and 6. Well, I got the whole alphabet because that's all I could get. Blew up in the balloon. I got some balloons, and like I made like a special like tribute for her birthday, and I got her a nice gift. I got her a custom hat from this hat maker, and that was like, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be, but it was still like, what if she wakes up and she catches me coming back in with the thing and I look stupid and she's like, you really did this last minute? Why didn't you do this? You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness, babe. Do you really think I'm that person?
Babe, do you not know who you are?
I am not that person. If you came in while we were out away from home, like we were on a trip, you went all, I would not say something like that. That's crazy.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Well, I was in fear of it. So, how married are you?
Oh, I'm so married that, guys, I have a lot from when we went
trip,
to Atlanta.
We're going away again. So
I'm just gonna keep going. So I'm so married that I went, and I don't know if you asked for it or if I went in my bag for it, but I went looking for a piece of gum or something, and I opened up my thing, and I had one last piece of gum, and I really wanted it.
I asked you if you wanted it.
But I'm so married that I let Glenn have my last piece of gum.
Hold on. So did I ask for gum, or did you go in there, see the gum, and say, do you want gum? And I said yes.
I think it was one of those things where it was like, you go and you're going to get something for yourself, but it's like, hey, you want a piece of gum? But I hadn't opened the cake. And you said like, yes. And you said yes, and I had to follow through. So I was like,
let's split it, babe.
Yeah.
And you were like, no.
It was like what is it, orbit? You can't split an orbit. It's not like it's a Trident or a, what's the other one? Do they even make that type of gum anymore?
Trident, they make Trident, I think.
But they make Trident like the little, I'm talking about the long pieces of gum.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Like the long rectangular piece of gum.
Yeah, the old school gum. Yeah.
Wrigley? Is that one?
Wrigley, Double Mint.
Yeah. Those ones.
Yeah.
It wasn't one of those.
Winter.
So those ones are different to share. Yeah. This one was not one to share. So
I used to steal gum from the store and sell them at school.
Dang.
I was trash. I promise y'all, you guys have no idea.
We don't.
What the type of
not even me
specimen I would be if I was.
If you was what?
If I didn't make Jesus.
Oh.
Straight up, man. Like, I don't know what would have come of this whole situation. My life.
I'm
Praise
so grateful
God.
you met Jesus and found me.
Yeah. I'm just grateful for a lot of things, man. I used to be just the worst ever. If I had no fear of getting canceled, I'd tell you guys all the stories.
He won't even tell me. There's one story I feel like I asked you and you were like, nah, babe, you can't handle it.
I told you the blind man story.
No, wait, what's the blind man story?
I didn't tell you about the blind man?
No.
In college?
I don't think so. I don't know. I might need
that I used to hide from?
Yes. Y'all, I'm so serious though. We need story time with Glenn to be a series.
Y'all can't
He's
handle
got
it, man.
stories.
Y'all gonna cancel
He's gonna
me.
have to be a comedian. Maybe after you finish with your fatherhood thing.
Yeah. I'll go into stand up. I'll go into stand up and just be like one of them old black dudes that everyone thinks is out of his mind.
And you know what the scene should be? Mr. Rogers' porch. You're just sitting on the porch.
Yeah, just yelling at people. Yeah, that's what I should do.
That's what you should do with a cardigan sweater and some Nike shoes.
That's my 15, 20-year plan, maybe.
Yeah, let's
I'll
do
transition.
it.
All right, and
That's just how married we are.